Welcome back to We Like That podcast.
Because we like that. I'm Joe.
I'm Calvin.
Okay, welcome back to We Like That podcast.
Because we like that. The world's coming to an end, people. Run. Save yourself. Hide your kids. Hide your dogs. They're raping everybody.
Well, all the rapists are about to leave because
Who knows?
the guy who's going to make America great, he's going to deport everybody. So
She'll only be.
don't have to worry about it.
So, yeah, that's that. Other than that, we're now going to go to That Happened with Joe. She got all the news and the details and the tweets you need to know.
You don't want to talk about the election?
That happened with Joe. Not really. It's all bleak. It's all death.
You said for what? The purge? So
Yeah, but we'll be all right. We survived the first one. Hopefully, we survive this one. Just like I said, just stick with your loved ones. Have fun. Enjoy it. Live a life.
we might be out of jobs, Calvin.
Whatever. Live a life.
Okay, anyway. Speaking of living life, monkeys are loose in South Carolina.
Awesome. See, the world's already going to hell.
Alpha
Look at that.
Genesis is some kind of testing lab in Yemassee, South Carolina.
Did we know they had testing labs in South Carolina? That's new to me.
Where is Yemassee?
Yemassee
You've heard of it?
is in the middle of nowhere.
You've heard of Yemassee?
Yes.
Is it close to Charleston or no?
It's probably like north, like you're going possibly like,
Is it like south of Columbia or right there?
it's like going up that way.
Okay.
Like you're going to like, I want to say like Tennessee or something like that.
Tennessee. Oh, it's inland.
Yeah.
Okay. But then okay, so 43 monkeys escaped their facility. It's really vague and gray area what the heck they were testing these monkeys with. They're like, don't worry, it's not like a Caesar from the Planet of the Apes thing. So they're saying no chimpanzees are out. It's the smaller monkeys. But they still strongly encouraged everyone to secure and lock their windows and doors so that these monkeys couldn't get inside. If there's nothing to worry about, why do we also have to be so prepared? Anyway,
Come on, it's all over. Stop. It's done.
um,
The monkeys are taking over.
apparently this is the same facility where monkeys broke out in 2014, 2016, 2019, and 2022.
You remind me of the Nutty Professor. You know how when the Nutty Professor comes in, they're like, I don't know how all these hamsters got out. And he turns around and hits the button by accident.
Uh-huh.
And then they got to run back and close all the cages real fast.
Uh-huh.
I think someone's doing that every day.
Or at least every 2 years.
Yes.
They also oversee Morgan Island, which is also known as Monkey Island. Did not know this existed. Off the coast of South Carolina.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. Yeah. It's like you're going, wait a minute. It might be going like you're going to Florida.
I don't know. But all I know is there's no humans on that island because it's not prohibited. Because the monkeys that were being tested on, that are on that island, were for allergies and disease control. So, that insane movie. What was it called? Outbreak? So,
Yeah. You know what's funny? Every time this motherfucker get in office, something crazy happens.
You know what it reminded me of, though? What's his face? Your favorite actor of all time. Will Ferrell. Will Ferrell pretending to be Bush, and he
Bush.
said that there was monkeys with lasers
Oh.
that were just roaming around.
Rolling around free on the I-95 corridor. So you see a monkey with harpoon guns,
Yes.
please don't approach him.
Yes. They just got loose.
And guess
And they're
what?
trained.
And it's happening now, people.
Oh, gosh.
They also have harpoons. That's what I heard.
They also have harpoons.
So you might want to stay clear of the
Madness.
I-95 corridor if you're going south. Just saying.
Madness. So that's it. That's all I got for as in like light news, unless you want to talk about the insanity of the week. But
Ski property, do the news that happened with Joe.
we can talk about going to Beat the Bomb in DC.
Okay,
That was fun.
that was.
That was a lot of fun.
I'm angry.
Why?
I didn't want to get hit with the phone.
Well, I got soaked.
Well, it's.
We
They
were
make
wearing the wrong suits, apparently.
they make it so that it happens.
Well, yeah, that's the whole point. That's why you could take pictures and they do that full video at the end.
Other than that, it's fun. Hopefully, I get a couple of more friends to go.
But I'm not gonna lie, crawling under those lasers, that was my favorite game.
That was the main suckage for me.
It was so fun. It was fun. And the couple we were with was hilarious. So shout out to them as well. Shout out to all the workers. They're all very, very nice.
Yep. So yeah, I guess they're cool.
Do you have a favorite part of one of the games? Calvin was useless. He was full panicking.
It was one of the best ones.
He was full panicking.
That's crazy. Actually, all the games were pretty good to me.
Okay.
I like them all for the most part.
Except for the tank one?
Yeah.
Okay.
That sucked.
I think the tank one wasn't working because none of us knew how to work what we were holding. And we weren't talking to each other either.
What we should have done is
we should have one by one saw what the squeeze thing did. So we knew who did what.
And then the person who drives forward can get the one that drives back. So they're driving the thing. The person who got the turn and can have the two that turn. And the person who
and can aim and fire would be able to aim and fire.
The other two people can have to aim and fire.
Yeah. Well, there was only 4 of us, so that's too many people, Kevin.
Yeah. So 2 of them turned. 1 went forward and back. And 1 aimed and the other squeeze thing shot. So it's like 6 or 7 of them.
There were 6.
6, yeah. So 2 people would have had 2.
That's 4.
That's 4.
And then 1 for each other.
Yeah, 1 for the other. Yeah. We should have done it, but it's too late now. It's already happened.
But we also had to shoot in numerical order, and it went to 42. And we only had 6 minutes on the clock.
It went. Yeah, it was a done deal.
Yeah, it went from 1 to 42.
Yeah, it was a done deal. We're never gonna beat that goddamn bomb. Like I said, beat the bomb, but it's impossible to beat the bomb. That's great.
The game I didn't like was the blob game. There's one where you basically act as like the game pieces, and you're supposed to get these batteries. But first of all, the sensors are dull, so it doesn't recognize that all the bodies are there in the space. And if you go too far forward, too far back. Yes, then you don't even show up on the board, but you think you still show up on the board. It was crazy. But it said we did well, so who knows?
He did all right. It said all right.
It said well done because we were in the top 9%. That means nobody knew how to play that game.
Yeah, it sucked.
Anywho, okay, on to the shows. What show you want to talk
about? 90 Day Fiance the Other Way.
I have not watched it. What's happening?
Is it the other?
It's 90 days. It's before the 90 days.
Before the 90 days.
You're talking about the chicken lady and yeah, that's before the 90 days.
Before the 90 days. So we start with Tiger Lily and Aiden.
This is the lady who recently got a divorce and married this Middle Eastern man. He's in what country? Starts with a J.
Well, they got married in Jordan. He's not from Jordan.
Oh, I thought he was from Jordan.
No.
Because his whole family was there.
Yeah.
They were all visiting? Nobody lives there?
Yeah, he probably has family.
It says Jordan. You are such a liar.
Yeah, but they got married in Jordan. He said he's not from Jordan.
It says Jordan.
Yeah, they got married in Jordan.
So he lives there, Calvin. I said nobody lives there? You said no.
No, I don't think he lives there.
He does live there.
Okay.
It's like she lives in Texas. That's what those quotations are.
I really thought he said my family came to Jordan. We had a great marriage for the marriage and everything. It was great. Anywho, neither here nor there. So yeah, and for some reason she thinks she can Americanize the Muslim culture for some strange reason.
I don't think she clearly does not understand what Muslim culture is at all.
Nor does she care. She doesn't know how
he's living in Jordan, you psycho.
Okay. She doesn't know how misogynistic the culture is.
It's very patriarchal.
Pretty much men do what they want to do.
Yeah. And the women just obey. So actually, though, in the Muslim religion, the women actually have a lot more say. But she doesn't know, she doesn't have a grand enough concept of it at all to even point that out.
Sure. So the last episode is pretty much she's flying back to Jordan to visit him again after she left.
I got more questions.
After a couple of months. So she flew to get married, then she left and went back to the States.
Okay. Without him.
Yeah. So now she's coming back to visit.
Okay.
And pretty much
but she's mad at him.
She's mad because she wasn't feeling good. Her body was, I guess, she was stiff or something. She went to see a chiropractor.
Okay.
Somehow he found out and didn't like the fact that a man was all over her body, and in his mind that should never happen. The only person should be touching his wife is him.
Okay.
Which that's how they feel in the culture.
Yeah.
Cut to, he decides to take a, I guess, little sexy picture selfie, him coming out the shower in a towel. So she kind of makes that her little grief about
a double standard
and all that stuff,
which to me is hilarious because he had a problem with her being touched by the hairdresser. Like they have been having different versions of the same fight the whole season.
So,
but she's still surprised every time. It's very interesting
for some odd reason. So moving on, she sees the photo. She, I guess, makes a comment on the photo, tell him to take it down. He goes no. She gets to Jordan. He has this nice little romantic setup for them.
It's very cute.
She's upset. They're talking. And she's like, well, you know, your jealousy is getting on, whatever. He's like, I don't think anybody should be touching my wife. You know that. You know how I feel about that. And she pretends like she doesn't get it or whatever, but who knows? So then she talks about, you take a little sexy picture. I don't want anybody to see your body. But he's like, yeah. And then his little confessional, he talks about, yeah, she got mad. I took a little sexy photo. But then he goes, I took it, deleted it after she told me to delete it. And I go, wait a minute. She said he didn't delete it, so who knows if he deleted it or he didn't delete it. She said he deleted, she says he didn't. So finally they're talking, and finally he gets something like, I'm tired of this. He leaves and goes in the bathroom. She sits there like she's bewildered.
Befuddled and bewildered.
Yeah, but I don't know what she doesn't understand. So he comes back out like, he kind of apologizes.
Not really.
But not really. And he's like, so let's try. So how can we make up so we can just start making a baby? For some reason, they're trying to have a baby or child. Mm-hmm. Don't know why, but they're trying. And that's pretty much where we leave them at. In Jordan, about to get it on.
Look at his reel. So he is all over Instagram. I don't know if he's actually a model or if he just takes these kinds of photos. What do you think of his gangster photo?
Sure. Look, he about to go to cigar bar.
What just cracked? It just cracked me up that it says gangster. What about this pose? He's wearing a newsboy cap. He's got a very expensive but thin scarf on. Like he's like Calvin said, it looks like he looks like an uncle going to a cigar lounge. And he's like, gangster.
I'm gonna say,
I don't think people know what these words mean.
Yeah, they don't. People don't know what words mean anymore.
Yeah.
Nor do they care. I'm gonna save Rain and Chitty for last.
Okay.
Moving on to Lauren and Faith.
Are they even still together?
Yeah.
Maybe.
It's odd.
Okay.
So they're together, but they're friends now. He said we'll just be together as friends until you can get your cheating ways into order or whatever.
Faith said that? Or Lauren said that?
Faith.
Okay.
Faith is the
girl.
The girl, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, Faith said that. So they're on their way
in case you didn't know, listeners, or if you're not watching the show like that, Lauren went to the Philippines with the explicit intent to
move there,
meet up and marry and move to the Philippines and be with Faith, but also wanted an open relationship where he could still sleep with whoever he wanted to sleep with, but be with Faith, and came with an STD.
So we start off that episode with he has gonorrhea.
It's curable. He has a curable one though, so okay.
So we start there. Pretty much their episode is them going to meet his mom.
What?
Her parents.
Oh, you said his mom. I thought you meant Lauren.
No.
Faith's parents.
They're pretty much going to meet Faith's parents.
Okay.
And
why would she still take him to go meet her parents?
I have no idea.
Why would she do this?
I really didn't see their thing too much.
Okay.
But after they go see the parents, I guess it went okay.
Do you know where in the Philippines she is? Is she in Cebu or is she? Or is
She's
she
in,
in Manila? I thought she was in Manila.
uh,
You don't know?
they don't say.
Okay. I'm pretty sure she's in Manila.
So,
What did her parents' house look like?
eh,
Was it like countryside?
kind of. I think I fell asleep.
You the worst.
I don't remember.
You the worst.
But then again, they didn't show them too much. So fast forward, I guess it went okay.
Okay.
He's talking to her. Now he's trying to pressure her to get married so he can stay in the country.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess since the Philippines has a law where transgender people can't get married,
Mm-hmm. Well, not transgender people. Same sex can't get married.
same sex can't marry.
They don't recognize trans
They
people at
don't
all.
recognize them as people at all. This idiot, Lauren, decides, hey, how about I just marry your mom to stay here?
Wait, was her dad not there? I got more questions now.
I have no idea.
Are her parents not married, maybe? And that's why he was like, I'll marry your mom? Was he joking? I have more questions.
No, he was dead. He was dead ass.
I have more questions.
He was dead serious.
So confused.
So, and the look on her face when he said that was like, what? And that's pretty much how that one was left.
Mm-hmm.
With the question of him asking her if he can marry her mom to stay in the country. Is she willing for that to happen?
Mm-hmm.
So we have Niles, who's 28 from Alabama, and Matilda, who's 23 from Ghana.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much Niles has his autism, like a life form of autism.
I like how you keep saying pretty much. He definitely has it. It's not,
Well, he has
not
a
a pretty
life
much
form of
situation.
autism.
They don't call it a light form. They don't call it a light form of autism.
He's autistic.
Is the other thing. He might have high functioning.
He's on the spectrum.
Autism.
He's on the spectrum.
He might be high functioning.
So
neurospicy.
Their whole thing is he was supposed to come there and marry her.
Yes.
But at some point he changed his mind. He doesn't want to get married on this go.
Oh, during his current visit. Okay.
Yeah, he doesn't want to get married during her current visit. And now she's kind of upset. Pretty much she just wants the D. That's all she wants.
Well, I mean, she also wants to get married, no?
But she really wants to get married too.
Okay.
So pretty much their episode is him trying to get the families okay for him to do the knock, but not the whole wedding ceremony.
Do the knock?
Pretty much where he asks to marry her. It's a custom that they do. And normally we do the knock to ask to marry.
Is the custom called a knock?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what they've been saying the whole time. You have to get married a little bit right after that. Or soon after that.
Did he have to pay a dowry?
They didn't talk anything about dowry.
Okay.
At this point.
Okay.
So finally, he tells her that he doesn't want to get married right away on this trip, but he wants to come back and get married. She's devastated, but she finally gets it, and she's like, and she's very patient with him. She's like, I know he has autism, so I know he doesn't really kind of tell me what he's really thinking.
Okay, he has problems communicating his emotions and stuff.
So she said, I get that, so I'm gonna work with him, and I'm cool. But
she said that for real?
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah, she said so. But you have to tell my family this.
Okay, yeah.
And he like, don't lie, because she's like, don't lie, because then it's worse.
Right.
Before they go to meet her family, he goes to get a haircut downstairs at the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
He's talking to this other African dude. The African dude tells him that if they get upset or they think you're lying, they can curse you. And, curses go forever. They can curse whatever. Spiritual curses. So now he's worried about that. They get on the plane. This is our first time on the plane, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
It's like an hour flight to her hometown. They get there. It's like a village, literally.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 50-some people in the house. Grandkids, great-grandkids. like 3 or 5, 6. It's a lot of people, uncles, aunts, all that stuff. They all sit down, and she's pretty much telling him what to say. And he tells the mom and dad, like, look, I want to marry her. This is the ring that I gave her to let her know I marry her. I just want to marry her, not when I come back.
Okay.
So the parents is like, we'll do it as long as you come back and marry her within the next 2 months. And he's like, I don't know if that's feasible or whatever, but I will come back. So eventually he gets the family to settle on him coming back to marry her.
Okay. So he's gonna go back to Ghana to marry her?
Yeah.
Okay.
At some point, but after you go back to the States, he's going to come back.
Right. So come back to Ghana to marry her. Okay.
So, but the future episodes is, I guess they got to talk to the of the village.
They got to get approval from the village.
The head of the village or whatever.
The chief.
And he's like, nah. You either do the knock and everything now. We're not doing this, whatever.
Wow.
That's on the next episode, though.
That's interesting.
We see how they figure out and deal with that.
Okay.
But for now, the family's okay. But now we see what the chief says.
Okay.
So we see how they handle that in the next episode. Moving on to Joe and Magda. They haven't been on yet. So they'll be on the next episode.
Okay.
But apparently this guy...
I thought they've been showing them.
No, I haven't seen them yet.
Okay.
They show previews for the next episode, them on it, which is like episode 7. No, wait a minute, episode 9 or something like that?
Aren't there 20 plus episodes out?
I don't know.
Okay, what episode are you recapping then? What number is that?
I'm pretty much recapping episode 9 and 10.
Okay.
So pretty much, I guess he's some party boy from New Jersey, Italian dude from New Jersey.
Wait, that says Florida.
Oh, Italian Jersey boy. Anywho, I guess he lives in Florida now, and he found this chick in Poland that he's trying to marry. But apparently, that starts off wrong from the jump. Apparently, he's been cheating already on her birthday.
What you mean?
On some stuff. From the previews, yeah, it's already starting off right.
Are those ages correct?
That's what they say it is. 34 and 23.
Magda does not look 23, at least in that photo. She's 23?
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
That's an 11-year difference. Yeah. He's with a child. Okay, yeah.
So moving on to Brian and Ingrid. Pretty much, Brian is a 50-year-old dude from Illinois. Ingrid is a 33-year-old Brazilian.
Brian's a gangster.
So his whole storyline is he didn't tell her how
he lived that life.
How he got crippled.
He was about them streets.
Pretty much he got crippled because he was trying to sell drugs in the wrong foot. Oh, and somebody else's turf.
No.
What happened?
He was selling drugs, but remember he was working for his girlfriend. And then he was trying to get one over on her, basically. So she sent people to go F him up.
Oh.
And she was successful.
Oh. Okay. Well, I missed that whole part.
That was what he was like. I didn't tell her the full story. That was the full story.
Oh, so basically he tried to screw his girlfriend over and she made his legs not work no more.
Basically.
So in the last episode,
he's in Brazil, right?
He's in Brazil. He comes to Brazil. He's pretty much meeting her friends. The friends, kind of iffy on him, but I guess they accept him.
Okay.
His mom and dad. So she sets up a meeting with him to meet her mom. Her mom wants nothing to do with it.
Interesting.
Her mom sits while they're eating. Her mom just sits in the kitchen or another room and watch them eat or whatever. Her mom and dad are not with this relationship. And he thought because he was paralyzed or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And his mom's like, that's not the issue. The issue is we want her to marry a Brazilian dude from Brazil. And we don't want her to leave.
Oh, they don't want her to go to America.
That's our only daughter. And we don't want her to leave. So basically...
He can't just move to Brazil? He already speaks the language.
I don't know. I don't know if that's...
Or does he not have the same accommodations, maybe? He doesn't have the same...
He doesn't. I don't know.
I wonder if he's getting subsidies with the U.S. government for a disability. that would go away if he moved to Brazil?
Probably, who knows? But all I know is pretty much her mom and dad
Aren't with the
aren't
program.
with the program because he's not from Brazil,
Well,
and they don't want him to take their
I
daughter
think that's
away.
the bigger part. They don't want them to take him to take their daughter away. I think that's the bigger part. Because she got a kid too, don't she?
Yeah, and she also has a child.
Okay.
So pretty much that's their episode, and the mom pretty much
Does she end up getting on board by the end of that episode?
no,
Oh, okay.
she's still not on board,
Gotcha.
and she didn't care to be nice or graceful or anything. She just like whatever.
So she said it as it is?
Yeah,
I kind of respect it.
whatever.
I kind of respect that.
So they're pretty much dealing with that and figure out what they're going to do.
Okay.
So next couple is
Bea.
Vea and Sunny.
Mm-hmm.
Sunny's a 26-year-old from South Africa. Vea is 27-year-old from Florida. So
That explains so much.
their whole issue is she's
Lies.
still close to her ex-boyfriend,
And he does not know this.
and he doesn't want her to be in touch with her ex-boyfriend or close to him. She
I
decides.
disagree. Because I remember the episode where they introduced him and he was like, she's friends with her ex, which is fine. But she didn't say how close she was with her ex.
Okay, so she decides to go see him in South Africa,
Mm-hmm.
and she decides to bring her ex-boyfriend with her.
Her friends are like, don't do this.
Everybody's telling her, don't do this.
The ex is like, I don't know that I should. And she's like,
So
it's fine.
whatever, it's fine. She does it.
But she wants him hidden. She keeps him like
Yeah,
a
but
whole
she-
secret.
It's keeping it from Sunny.
Yeah.
She gets to South Africa, and she's talking to the ex-boyfriend. And at some point, Sunny goes out to get coffee or something, comes back, and I guess he figures out that he's there and she's talking to him. He
Mhm.
explodes, leaves, and tells her it's over. He doesn't want anything to do with her.
Mm-hmm.
So the episode 8 and 9 is pretty much her trying to get through the fact that he pretty much kind of broke up with her
Mm-hmm.
and didn't want anything to do with her. So she's pretty much crying, talking to the ex, still trying to figure out what she can do to, I guess, make it right. And her ex tells her, just be honest with him and
Mhm.
upfront
Mm-hmm.
about all your issues and things you had that you've been going through and why we're so close. So she finally texts him. He meets her back at the hotel. They go
Mhm.
on the balcony and talk. She pretty much tells him the reason that they're so close is because she was taken from her family, or her mom
She
gave her-
was. She was adopted.
she was taken from her family, and that she has anxiety issues and all this stuff, and this is why. And then I think she had a boyfriend who died from drugs or was
Overdose or something.
overdose or something.
What's that got to do with lying about an ex?
So all this stuff, and he sits there, listens to her, and I guess he forgives her,
I got more questions.
and that's pretty much their episode.
I got more questions. I'd have more respect for him if he really did end everything. Because what? I mean, yes, granted, you probably had a very terrible childhood. What's that got to do with you latching on to this ex and lying to me about it? How do those two worlds mix? That makes no sense.
Yeah, who knows? The next couple is Vanya
Vanya.
and Bozo.
Yeah.
Buzo.
Yeah, Buzo.
Buzo. 38-year-old dude from Croatia. Pretty much,
Oh, and she's 41?
yeah.
I kind of am interested in this couple. Like, where are they at?
Pretty
Maturity
much,
wise.
he's like a Croatian basketball player.
What? Like professional?
Yeah, I guess. They met on a dating app when she was, I guess, hoofing it through Croatia to get back to her roots.
Wait, she's Croatian?
Yeah, she's from, I want to say,
Mm.
yeah, something like that.
So she has Croatian roots
Yeah, she was,
and was like, let me go ahead and date some Croatian guys out here.
No, what happened was she got broke out of a relationship, so she decided to take a trip to find herself and get back
Okay.
to her roots.
Oh, she did an Eat, Pray, Love. Okay.
Yeah. So then she got on a dating app. They met, but they never were able to meet while she was there. And I guess he texted her when she was back to the States. They started talking.
Okay. So it's been a long distance relationship the whole time.
Yeah. So they were talking for a while. Finally, she goes back to Croatia to meet him. her flight gets delayed in Germany.
Okay.
She's trying to catch him. She's trying to get him. He can't get a hold of him. Fine. She gets a hold of him. He lets her know, okay, cool. I'll be with it. Her anxiety is down a little bit.
Okay.
She feels better. She gets there. He meets her at the airport. They go and do some stuff. They take a cooking class.
Uh-huh.
At the cooking class, she's like, "Oh, we're just friends." So that's
how you introduced them to the teacher?
Yeah.
We're friends?
Yeah.
I got more questions.
So now she's kind of devastated.
Well, yeah, I got more questions.
Because she
Wait,
thinks
how long has all of this been?
They're a couple. They were.
How long have they been talking? Has it only been a couple months, or it's been like a year?
I want to say it's been a year or so.
Okay. But we're just friends at a year. Okay.
So they do the cooking thing. They leave. They go back. She has a place, like a little apartment or hotel she has.
Mm-hmm.
They go to the hotel. She's hoping he stays, but he drops her off, makes sure she's fine, and then he leaves and goes back to his mom's house because he lives with his mom.
Mm-hmm.
He comes back the next day. She's kind of, first of all, he didn't kiss her at the airport. They just hugged for a long time.
They're in Croatia, right? Not America?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
is it at all possible he's just conservative?
Who knows?
Okay.
So she's sad about that. She goes to sleep. He picks up the next morning.
They're staying in separate places. He goes to his mom's house. She goes to a hotel?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he comes back and picks up the next morning.
He didn't want to spend the night with her at the hotel?
No, he leaves. Because he's a gentleman.
Okay. Maybe he's just conservative.
He leaves. So they come back the next morning. They're hanging out. They're talking. And she finally brings up the fact that he called her a friend. And she's like, we said we loved each other, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I'm just taking my time trying to figure out if we have any chemistry, we work, or we're good.
Oh, now that we're in person.
Yeah. So he's like, see if anything works romantically. So she's like, you don't see me as a romantic,
like a romantic partner at all?
Partner yet? And he goes, romantically, no.
Oh.
I'm still trying to get to know you. I want to take it slow. He's pretty much upfront with her about how he feels.
I also wonder, like, with English not being his first language, if the translation is maybe a little rougher than she is receiving it. You know what I mean?
Because he's like, right now, I see you as a friend.
A friend with benefits? We've been saying I love you to each other? I would be confused with her. I'm not going to lie.
I don't think he had, well, other than that, yeah. I think that's the only thing it's pretty much just talking. They haven't.
I don't tell my friends I love you. Like that.
That's what she's saying.
Mm-hmm. So
he's like, I'm just trying to see if we click romantically. But right now, I don't feel anything. Right now.
So I wonder if he means like attraction-wise. He doesn't feel anything.
So she goes, you're not attracted to me? He goes, we'll see.
We'll see. I'm out. I'm taking the next flight home. What?
He doesn't really. So I think his thing is, now that we're face to face, let's see if we click, we gel.
I understand that, but not the whole. Well, I mean, like you said, he is honest. She's like, so you don't see me as a romantic potential, and he's like, no.
Pretty much not. Like
he's like, no,
not yet. You know,
not yet is the same as no.
But yeah,
it's not. It's not yes. It's a we'll see, which is the same as no, which is insane. They've been talking this whole time. She flew out to meet him. He's been like hesitant and reluctant. And she finds out it's because he doesn't know what to make of her in person right now.
Yes.
That's insane.
But
I would go home.
She asked about, has he told his mom?
I'm quick to go home.
About meeting his mom. He's like, yeah, you can meet my mom. My mom is crazy about you because I told her about you, and now she's already moved you to daughter-in-law status.
Well, that doesn't mean anything to me when you just told me to my face that you don't find me attractive. Like this.
Yeah, so
that's not taking the sting away from anything.
Pretty much all that happened at the same time.
That's insane.
And that's pretty much.
Well, now I'm in. Now I got to watch the rest of these episodes.
Yeah. So to the train wreck that is Rain and Chitty. Pretty much Rain is a crazy psycho
chicken
lady from New Mexico, and Chitty is a 34-year Nigerian that is blind.
This poor man.
So the episode is basically she gets there
She's been there.
She's been there. They were staying with her sister.
Yes.
And they were staying in separate rooms. She doesn't like that. Let's just start there. The next thing.
One, it wasn't the sister's idea. It was Chidi's idea.
It was Chidi's idea, not the sister. And because his religious convictions, he doesn't want to be in the same room with her.
Right.
So it was his decision, number one. Number two, the sister and the husband has been nothing but kind and supportive and welcoming to her. So it all starts when they go to the street market. And first of all, she's upset because her sister is trying to help lead Chitty along, trying to show her how to lead him around and help him.
Yeah, she's like, I'm here now. She shouldn't have to do any of that. And it's like, no, you just got here.
Yeah, she wants to take over everything that involves Chitty. They go to a street vendor and they're looking at chickens. Unbeknownst, I think they know she has chickens, but they don't know how in love and chickens she's with.
Vehemently in love with chickens. They know she likes them, that she has them as pets.
They go to buy a chicken to kill to feast.
For dinner. They're like, we're going to go get dinner, and it's live chickens.
She loses it.
Yes.
So now the sister's like, oh, she has a temper.
Well, first the sister's like, oh, maybe I'm mistaken, and you're like vegetarian since you love chicken so much. She's like, do you eat chicken? And Raina goes, yeah. She goes, okay. Okay, how do you eat the chickens without killing them then? Explain. And she's like, it's different because, in America, you can just buy them already dead. And it's the sister looking at her like, okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
Whatever makes you feel better.
All right.
So they go back and eventually she explodes because she thinks Chitty's sister is trying to keep her and Chitty away from each other or separate them.
You should also mention how she wants to sleep with Chitty as much as possible. She thought she was going on this trip for sex, and that's not happening.
So I think she's just sexually deprived.
I think she's deprived, full stop.
And he was like, no, I'm refraining from sex till I get married. She doesn't like that neither. So fast forward, eventually she explodes, and she just starts going off. And the sister's like, I don't know what's going on. What did we do to make you so uncomfortable?
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, sisters don't like me.
What?
She lets that drop to Chitty, and Chitty's like,
wait,
okay.
What? Pause. Explain. What do you mean sisters don't like you?
Yeah. So he goes, oh, okay. So then she leaves, goes to the hotel, and she's at the hotel by herself.
So she left his sister's place,
yeah,
like fully, and goes to the hotel?
She left her sister's house fully and went to a hotel. She got herself a hotel. She's been at the hotel for maybe a couple of nights.
Okay.
Maybe 1 or 2 nights. And Chitty hasn't come to see her or nothing. He's pretty much talking to everybody, trying to figure out what to do.
Okay.
He talks to his sister. His sister goes, look, I'm not going to stand in your way. If that's who you want to be with, then by all means, go do what you want to do.
Okay.
But I don't think it's healthy.
Right.
But if that's who you want, I'm not going to stand in your way.
She sounds reasonable.
Okay. So his sister is very reasonable.
Okay.
She's not the issue. So he goes and then he talks to another friend that's partially blind.
Okay.
And he's pretty much says the same thing. Something's wrong with her.
Mm-hmm.
She has a temper. Can you deal with her temper?
Yeah.
Can you handle it? And Chitty's trying to weigh the options of can he, whatever. So finally, she sends her a text saying, I want to see her. Mm-hmm. I want to see you. So she's happy again, kind of, sort of, to see what he's going to say.
Mm-hmm.
She buys this little lingerie outfit or whatever.
Okay.
Little sleeping outfit has like silk, whatever. And she's like showing it off.
To who? He can't see.
That's what I said.
Okay.
So I'm like, he can't see it. So what's the point of this?
The camera crew, I guess. Okay.
So finally he meets up with her, takes her to the dirtiest beach I ever seen for my life.
No, we watched Coming From America. We saw that beach in Accra.
This beach is...
it might be the same beach. Isn't he in Nigeria?
Yeah.
Yeah, it might be the same beach.
Anywho, he's sitting there talking. He's pretty much telling her, look, your temper
is unpredictable.
And it's a problem with our relationship. You don't listen to me.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, that's your sister talking. You need to get off your sister. Meanwhile, she just explodes, talking about how you need to get off her sister's breast and all this stuff. He's like, what are you talking about?
What?
My sister's not an issue. He's like, your temper is the issue.
Right. I said, we have a problem.
Yeah, you blow up and you can't control your temper. She just loses it, and he said you just said the first thing that come to your head without any recourse.
Uh-huh.
He said, "Do you might think the reason that you have not been cool with any sisters, and maybe because it might be you,
Uh-huh.
is she loses it."
She's like, I have had problems with sisters. Every guy I've been with treated me like dirt. Like,
And all that
girl,
stuff.
what?
One of the dudes I've been with was a druggie and this and that. He was a
I
meth
like
addict
how
and
she
whatever.
said 3 different ways that he did cocaine. He did cocaine. He did crack. He did drugs.
And
Those are all the same thing.
he's like, that has nothing to do
With what we're talking
with
about
what
right
we're
now.
talking about right now. And pretty much he breaks up with her
Good.
for the
Thank
most part
goodness.
on the beach. And then she is just pretty much in anger and just saying anything that pops in her head, which is crazy.
Mhm.
She said something else crazy that I can't remember.
Okay.
It was about how his sister and the earth or something.
What?
She talked bad and crazy about the religion. Oh, maybe you're just your stupid religion and all that stuff. You and your stupid sister and your stupid religion, you can have it.
I know that she blamed humanity at one point.
And humanity and all this stuff. She was saying all types of stuff. It was just crazy and all over the place. And pretty much that's how the story ends. He gets back in a cab and he leaves after he pretty much breaks up with her.
He left her at the dirty beach.
He left her at the dirty beach.
Okay.
And that's pretty much 90 days.
9 episodes 9 and 10.
9 and 10.
What a ride.
It's crazy.
Will there be a reunion special?
I don't know yet.
Mm.
Hopefully we shall see. But that's 90 Day the other way.
Yep. Or no, before the 90 days.
Before the 90 days.
Yes.
Season 7, episode 9 and 10.
Okay. That sounds crazy and convoluted. Sounds about right.
Yep. That's pretty much what the episode was.
Oh my gosh. You know who I have? They didn't show the Chinese lady and her white husband?
I think that's the other way.
Oh, okay.
That's 90 days the other way.
Okay. Not before the 90 days for them.
Yeah.
Gotcha. But also, I needed a break from the 90 days. I'm not going to lie. I did. I needed a break. And then you were trying to get me to watch Mama's Boy. And apparently it's the worst season of Mama's Boy, from what I'm hearing on these internet streets.
Because it seems so fake.
It is. It's always been fake, apparently.
Like more fake. Like they're not even trying now. Because they went for numbers with influencers.
But they've always been influencers. Apparently they've always been influencers.
Oh, okay, that's new to me.
The first 2 seasons, all those people are also social media influencers. We had a couple that was in the news. They were like, one was a model, remember, and one was like a news anchor.
Yeah.
These were all part of branding for them. I want to get you into Sister Wives, though. I don't know if you could. I don't know if I could get you to sit long enough to watch it, though.
Probably not. I think I looked at like a couple of them.
First of all, I didn't know how many seasons were in Sister Wives. A lot of them. I'm basically caught up with like the most recent stuff that's happening, where Cody's wives have basically all left him. I think Robin's still in the picture, so he went from having 4 wives to 1, and he blames the wives. He doesn't blame his own actions at all. The other thing is he has kids with so many of them. It's this whole thing. Anyway, if I can get you to watch it, I'll see if we can make something happen with that. You want to talk about Life After Lockup?
And now for Life After Lockup.
We both know you can't do 2 things at the same time.
Yeah.
So what's happening
I just
here?
want to make sure it was episode 9 and 10.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Uh-huh.
Life After Lockup.
I don't trust you. All right. Karak and Brittany. It is minutes before they go in front of this priest that they have got at the golf course for this impromptu wedding. And Brittany has a crisis of consciousness finally. And is like, I got to tell Karak what the PO said. She pulls Karak to the side. Karak's in a suit. She's literally in her wedding dress. And she goes, the PO told me that it's not advisable for us to go ahead and move forward with this wedding. And Karak is looking at her like she spouted 3 heads because they're literally in front of the priest. And now Karak is embarrassed and angry and is like, where is this coming from? And it's Brittany basically finally telling Karak the truth of how, like, She wanted their wedding day to be this big party, this big event. It doesn't feel right. Her family's not there, his family's not there. They're rushing, and it could harm her chances of them moving to Texas together. Karak calls off the wedding. When they make it back home, Karak stays pissed and is like, well, forget it. I'm just going to move to Texas without you and keep this moving. You get to Texas when you get to Texas, whatever. But Brittany doesn't want it to go that way either. She went from pushing Karak to move to Texas without her to now telling him he has to wait a week. She's like, give it a week. She tells him her PO is going to get back to her in about a week to let her know if she'll get a different approval to head to Texas. At first, Karak was like, "Nah, I'm not waiting." But after they fight in public pretty loudly, he concedes and it's like, "All right, I'll wait the week." You got anything to add?
I just think he overreacted
I, uh,
because in his mind he's like, "Oh, does she want to get married now still? Or she having second thoughts about marrying me and all this stuff?" I'm like, "Nah, dude. She just doesn't want to do it this way,
uh-huh.
and she wants to get to Texas as soon as possible too. That's all.
I,
Calm down, Buttercup."
we've seen Karak go off the hinge. We've seen that. I didn't think it was out of character or an overreaction for Karak because Karak's prone to go deep end. To me, we've seen Karak snap at other stuff. So I didn't think it was an overreaction for him, but I also couldn't help but side with him on the fact that he found out while they were in front of the priest, like to get married. They didn't have this conversation any other time.
Granted, she picked the worst time to do it,
That was crazy.
but it is what it is.
She's like, it's not like I waited last minute. It's not like I held on to this information for a month. You did wait last minute though. You did. Anyway, so they're waiting. Bianca and Daniel, the man and the child bride that he has. He's been out for about a month, and Daniel's secured a job, which if you've been watching the show or know anything about people being on parole, serving any kind of time, and then getting a job, it's a big deal that his turnaround was about a month. That's a big deal. And
Because he was locked up.
he's locked up with no license and no car. So he's going to be helping with movers, basically, and it's going to be kind of on call part-time. But because he does not have a license, he's legally not allowed to have a license or a car. It's terms for his parole because the reason he went to jail was for a DUI. So
You would think she would look all that stuff up before she starts messing with him.
you would you would think anyway. He's like, oh yeah, so the guys are gonna come pick me up, and then or no, she already agreed to drop him off for his job, but then it's like, who's gonna pick you up?
After the first day, she's already tired of doing it.
She's like, she's like, who's gonna pick you up? And he's like, you could. And she's like, I don't know where, I don't know how my day is gonna go. I don't know if I'm gonna be available. We all know she doesn't work. What do you mean, girl? What you talking about? And then her standalone confession is like, she's been paying all the bills. Uh, basically, she feels like her whole life has been revolving around Daniel because he can't do this and he can't do that, and she's tired of it. She wants some time to herself. I'm like, what did you think?
Mind you, she wanted to be all around him, all over him before then. She wanted him by her side the whole time.
I don't think she wanted to be around him. I think she wanted him around her. And now that he's here and not doting on her the way that she felt he was going to for some reason, she's having all kinds of problems. Like when she has her phone call with her friend. So he goes to work. She meanders around a tabletop store, like for Dungeons and Dragons, like to buy figurines, and gets on the phone with her bestie and just goes on this diatribe of how he's not doing this and he's not doing that. And she's taking care of things. She feels like Daniel love bombed her. That he's taking advantage of her and giving her false promises because he said that they'll be engaged and get married. And now he's like rescinding all of that and saying he doesn't want to do that too fast.
Mind you, she hasn't told a friend that she's drinking around a dude that can't be around alcohol.
She's drinking
and
around
she
the
doesn't
dude.
care about none of his triggers.
No, no, or his rehabilitation. Nothing. She don't care about that. None of that.
At all.
He had a full panic attack just trying to walk with her outside. Anyway, so anywho. But her friend who was always already not Team Daniel is just like, see, this is why I told you maybe you shouldn't have done all of this, yada yada yada. She's like, maybe I should come out and see you for myself. And Bianca's like, yeah, come on out. The friend has the courtesy to be like, do you need to talk this over with Daniel? And Bianca's basically like, no, I pay all the bills, I make the decision. He does not get a say. Okay. Girl.
This can only go
Girl.
left. This can only go left.
Girl. So Daniel finishes work, tries to call Bianca to pick him up. She does not answer the phone. He ends up having to get an Uber to go home, and it costs him about $30. $30 for Daniel is expensive to him. He's like, it's not cost efficient for me to just call these Ubers all the time at $30 a pop for each thing, especially if I want to work the way I want to work or I get more hours. This is not going to be cost effective at all. He gets home, and Bianca has the audacity to be like, "How'd you get home?" Oh, what?
I walked, bitch.
You're chilling in the house anyway.
I walked, bitch. I walked 500 miles.
He tells her. She asks him, "Is it going to be a full-time job?" He's like, "It's going to be a part-time job. I'm making 20 out. I'm taking $20 an hour, which is over minimum wage for the state that they're in." But she's still unhappy because she wants him to have a full-time job so that he can take care of some of these bills, and also so she doesn't have to be around him all day. And I was like,
that's
girl.
Why. No, that's the key word. So she won't have to be around him all the time now because he's not doting on her the way she thought it was going to go down. Now she don't want to be around him.
She's just like, it's her complaining that he's spending all her money and she's to devote all this time. Like, girl, shut up. Anyway, then she gives him the figurines she bought at the tabletop store. She's like, look, I bought you this for you. They're elves. We can paint them together to be a cute little activity for both of us. He's like, cool. How much was this? She goes, $130. He's looking at her like, you were pressing on me to get a job to help with bills, and you dropped $130 on top of the $30 Uber I took to get here. And you're concerned about money? So like, and she's like, whatever. It's not a big deal. It's just for us. Don't question what I spend. And then she reflects on the fact that she still has her settlement, and she's like, my settlement's gonna last me a hot minute. What does that mean, girl? What's that mean? It's not forever, clearly. So what are you? I don't think she knows what the hell she wants. It's very evident. She has a small perspective of what she thinks she's supposed to have by now. Daniel has a bigger perspective, but he's also terrible at communicating his needs to this child he's chosen to date and be with. But they're also still together. So, spoiler, they're also still together, even with all this madness. Daniel feels they need to be on a tighter budget and take things seriously, but at the same time, you decided to pursue a relationship with a child. So, enjoy that. Justin, you got me.
Justine and Michael.
And Mikael. We pick up with them talking about the visit from their lawyer from like 2 episodes ago.
Yep.
Where basically Justine was like, I don't trust Michael to watch my children. I want Kylie, my oldest daughter, to do it. Even though Kylie told her, I don't want to do that. I'm a kid myself. Rightfully, Michael is upset. He's like, what, am I chopped liver? Like, why am I not going to be the one watching the kids? Why are we splitting up the kids? Justine and him go back and forth, and they don't really come to a consensus. It's just kind of left up in the air about whether or not it's something they're going to have to plan for. I think they're just kind of hoping for the best at this point. We also find out that Michael's mother is going to move in with them.
Apparently, Michael's mother's house went boom. Someone was cooking. They heard a boom. House gone. The end.
That's 2 families now in the show that have lost their house to fire. Very interesting. Michael's worried about his mom moving in with them though, because she doesn't know that Justine is pregnant again. There was this whole controversy and scandal last time with Justine's pregnancy with baby Maddie. Where the storyline was Michael's mom didn't believe that he was the father of the child and wanted a pregnancy test done or a DNA test done to confirm it. I don't know how real that was, but they're still using it. And Justine's like, I'm nervous about having her in here. What if she does some crazy stuff like that now? We haven't told her specifically because of all the stuff that happened the last time, and now she's going to see it. And then Justine is just chickening out. Michael's mom makes it there, and she's doing everything to hide her pregnancy from this lady. And we end it there with, will she show it or not?
Yeah, she stands up and they're getting ready to show the bellies of the beast.
My favorite couple, Kim and Joey. Kim and Joey head to a lawyer that Kim found online, finally, to discuss the process for her pending divorce. Uh, Kim says she married in 2018. Then her husband had an affair, so she left. They've since signed paperwork to legally separate, but they haven't moved anything further in terms of the divorce. According to the lawyer, in order to divorce in North Carolina, which is where they got married,
Life.
it's actually very simple. All you need is to be a resident of the state and be
put in the
legal separated
damn
for a year.
paperwork.
And they've been legally separated for well over a year.
And just put in the damn paperwork.
So it's like, so questions start arising. Why didn't she do anything then? What is happening? Um, Joey adds that he wouldn't put it past Kim to cheat on him with her ex, to go back and forth like that. He's like, her dating history is her cheating on everybody, basically, except for maybe one relationship. And we know Kim counts her relationships from like elementary school forward. So I can't help but wonder if the one relationship she didn't cheat in was elementary school. Anyway,
Who knows?
Kim then asks if her ex would have a claim on a new home she's trying to purchase, because her and Joey are trying to move into a new house. Short answer basically was kind of yeah, he would. If they're legally married and she purchases his property and she doesn't file the divorce in time, he could say that he has dibs on that property. He could lay claim to that property. So that was kind of her answer. Kim also wants to know if her ex would have any claim on one of their children, because the paternity of her eldest is up in the air. I feel like they didn't give us the full story until now about this child. The way they explained it previously was like, she was married to her husband stepped out, so she stepped out on her husband and messed with Joey. Then she found out she was pregnant and she broke up with Joey to get back with her husband. The story Kim spun was that she believed the pregnancy was related to her husband. But now she doesn't know if it might be related to Joey, meaning Joey could be the father or her ex-husband. The other thing is, she's repeatedly said she doesn't want to find out. Our theory was she didn't want to find out because of child support. And we were correct. So later, with the lawyer, she wants to know what happens if her eldest son turns out to be Joey's and not her ex-husband's. The lawyer explains that in the eyes of the law, because her ex-husband signed the birth certificate and has been claiming to be the father of this child, he's been paying child support subsequently. So if it comes out and they want to pursue that Joey's the actual biological father and not her ex, Kim will owe her ex all that money he's paid in child support for that child, which according to Kim is about $20,000. And she's like, I don't want to do that. And then she further stresses that she does not want to find out the paternity of her eldest son at all. It's the worst.
She don't want to pay that
She
child
the
support
worst.
back.
She also don't want to lose it. She talks about how like she uses that child support. It helps her kids, yada yada, blah blah blah. They're in an Airbnb right now. I thought they were renting this property. They're just in an Airbnb.
Oh, that's why they need to get a place.
It's very interesting.
Makes sense now.
So, next couple is Teenie and Rob.
Robbie.
We're picking up from like 2 episodes again ago about how Teenie need to work. Teenie needs to work. Rob is stressing over the fact that he's not making as much money as he was in prison, which is the oddest thing to say out loud repeatedly. I don't know too many people who are rolling in dope while in prison. So, legally.
That's a good question.
So it's very interesting.
That's a great question.
It's very interesting that they keep repeating that he was just balling out of control in prison, but not so once he's free. So, they're fighting about the whole water park passes situation. Teenie bought $200 worth of season passes for her kids for those nearby water park. And Rob's like, we do not have that money. We need to pay bills. We don't have that money. I don't make that much money. You're not working. There's no way we could have afforded this season pass thing. Teenie, instead of like owning up to making the mistake, goes after Rob for having a tattoo of his ex on his arm, which upsets Rob. He goes off and has to take a walk to calm down, comes back in.
She apologizes.
But not before she tells the camera, like in a confessional, that she likes being petty. She likes just randomly throwing old stuff back at somebody for the hell of it.
Couldn't tell by her face that she was petty. Like being petty?
I didn't say it was a surprise. I said that this was a side confessional. So, um, Rob also goes on to talk about how, like, not being financially stable is a big fear of his because he remembers struggling as a kid growing up. His parents always fought about money. He also doesn't want to not be a provider for his family. It's a whole thing. He also meets up with his dad to play ball. He talks about how his father was not a consistent presence in his life at all. Like, he didn't grow up with his dad. His dad was kind of like in and out of his life, but like they've kind of rekindled some sort of friendship right now as adults, even though his dad didn't really see him when he was in prison for like 15 years. So, but they have a nice little talk, and they basically just talk about how like the new generation that Rob is raising, he's hoping they don't repeat the same mistakes and end up going to prison because it turns out his dad also served some time and maybe was accused of some kind of murder that he got off of. But how like they both kind of agree like we don't need future generations of ours also going through the prison system.
It's a nice little talk.
It was random.
Male bonding.
Then Rob and Teeny go on a date night to celebrate Teeny getting a job. She ends up getting a paralegal job. Um, and immediately Rob is asking about having another kid. I'm like, sir, you just complained about the park passes. You think a kid is cheap? Kids are not cheap. So, but he's
'Cause
like,
I'm not your sexy boy.
he's hard pressed to have a kid.
Sexy boy.
He's like, Teeny's children are my children, but I also, I also want to pursue having a child with her
He
together.
wants a little girl.
I also don't know if he knows you can't choose sex. Anyway,
Yeah, you can. It's called praying.
praying.
And doggy style is girl.
What?
Doggy style is boy. Missionary is girl.
I have no idea. So, Teeny agrees. At first, she was kind of like, "Is the timing right?" Like we're still trying to get her feet under us. I was kind of worried about all this, but then she concedes. She ends up agreeing with Rob, like, "All right, we can try for a kid." Once they get back to their house, Rob immediately goes to his little sex drawer, pulls out all the condoms he owns, and gives them to the cameraman. So that
Because it's time for sexy time. Sexy time.
I guess.
Gonna tear it up. Tear it up.
I guess. Then we have Calvin's favorite couple, Zariah and Troy.
Basically, Zariah and Troy are going to the weed shop.
Yeah.
They went to the weed shop. Got some lollipops.
And Troy is like in awe. He's like, this is amazing. Because like when he went in, none of that was legalized. You had to be real sneaky about it. And now it's just out in the open, glass cases. You can take your pick. You can test different variants. He's excited. Honestly, I don't understand why that wasn't the business they went into. But whatever. So
they decided to go to the park and blaze one for the ladies.
they go to a state park, which I'm very sure you can't smoke in, but they do.
They go there and just blaze.
Zariah thanks Troy for being a father to her son Azazel. Azazel? Yeah, Azazel. Or Azael.
Sound like the dude from the Ghostbusters movie, the bad guy.
The bad guy. She just goes on and on about how her son has always wanted a father. She does not really have a relationship with his biological dad at all. So the fact that Troy is stepping in as his actual father means a lot. And it brings Troy to tears. He like starts crying and stuff. Honestly, I don't blame him because Zariah is not nice to him most of the time. So her being nice right now, it was a big deal.
Also, she's talking about having another child too.
She's really pushing that they should have a child together. He is hesitant because again, they're not in a good financial place at all to start prepping for a kid. He also kind of wants to get some kind of normalcy between his daughter and her son first, which I feel is a fair argument. But Zariah also is no longer on birth control. Birth control was playing havoc with her system. It was making her break out really badly.
Gave her bumpy face.
Not bumpy face, but it was wrecking her system. And so she's been off it, but she did not tell Troy, and it sounds like they are not having protected sex. So that's happening. Later, Troy is supposed to be taking Azazel out for a father-son outing to a science museum where Zariah very clearly does not trust Troy to be alone with her son, but is like, okay, go for it. It's very crazy.
I don't know if it's that.
It absolutely is. Because she's like, what if he acts up? What if he decides to test the boundaries? What if he just leaves? And he's looking at her like, they don't handle it. Like, I don't, what? What in the world? She's like, I'm just saying it's not easy all the time, to be with the kid. And he's like, yeah, I know. So, but before they can leave, Troy gets a phone call from his mom.
Is it his mom or her mom?
It's his mom. Why would her mom tell him something bad has happened? Troy, something bad has happened.
It could have been
In his mom's voice. Why would
I
that
didn't
happen?
know that was his mom's voice.
She has a very distinct voice.
I didn't know his mom. I thought it was her mom's voice.
No, it's his voice. It's his mom's voice. Because also, it was on his cell. Why would her mom call his cell?
Don't your in-laws have my phone number?
Just because they do doesn't mean they're going to tell you the bad news before they tell their actual child.
Who knows? Whatever.
Anyway, Troy's mom calls him and says something bad has happened, but we don't get to find out what that is. Cut to end of the episode.
Ba, ba, ba. Ba-da-da.
And honestly, that's all the energy we really had to watch because it's been a hell of a week. Anything else you're watching? You can't do two things at the same time.
I'm trying to get caught up on the skating one. Also, I'm trying to get caught up on the other 90 days. I'm trying to get back into Mama's Boy, but you're right. It's hard. It's
because it's a
so
bad
hard.
show.
It's so hard. It's this season.
It's a bad show.
So hard.
Second season was over the shark for me. The second season was terrible. And it didn't get any better after that.
First two season was great for me. Even I think this is the third season, right?
Yeah, this is the third season. It feels like it's been ages.
First two seasons was great for me.
No, they were terrible.
But
the second season just got worse. That's when they had the guy who hits on his mom all the time, and like they cuddle, and he takes her out on dates, and he would buy her clothes. It was so creepy.
It's awesome.
It was so creepy.
Because he was her sexy boy. It
was so creepy. She invited herself to his fiance's bachelorette party, and she wanted the first wedding dance to be her and her son. It was terrible.
Awesome. That's love.
It was so bad.
That's so much love.
They broke up in real life.
Who broke up? The mom?
That couple with the crazy mom.
Oh, the mom and the son broke up?
No, they should have, but no. They stayed together.
Oh, that's what happens.
It's craziness. It's bad.
Time for the game.
And then they just keep upping the ante of like, how incestuous can we make this? Let's do it. Third season, let's do it full out.
I miss the Asian girl and the Indian mom.
You know they never dated. All of that was staged.
I don't care. It was amazing TV.
It was not. It was so bad.
It was amazing TV.
You could tell it was not real.
Oh God! When would you let your hate go and stop?
Well, then why don't you watch the newest season, then, Calvin?
Because I don't like influencers.
The other ones are influencers.
There you go.
That doesn't make sense.
Oh God! Just a hate from your heart.
I've been watching wrestling.
Oh, we know you love wrestling. We know.
ECW recently had a resurgence. They did a throwback to ECW last Wednesday with NXT. Rob Van Dam was there. Is it Bubba Diddley?
Bubba Dudley.
Bubba Dudley was actually in a match with Trick Williams, and the other Dudley brother came out.
Yes, that is the name of a character, Trick Williams. Yes,
yeah.
She's not lying. His name is Trick Williams.
His saying is "whoop that trick." At first, I took offense. So I was like, but it's supposed to be "whoop that, trick," like his name. So whoop that, and then trick his name.
He stole the song from Hustle and Flow,
which was literally about beating prostitutes.
Yes. Get him.
What's the other Dudley brother's name?
I don't know. Debo Dudley. I don't know.
Well, he showed up, and Bubba did not know he was coming.
Black Dudley.
It was a huge surprise for everybody when
he
showed up.
Black Dudley showed up. That's what happened.
It was first of all, Trick lost the match, and then they stayed in the ring, and people were like, "What's going on?" And they ended up trying to get revenge with Ethan Page. Then they were going to do a table thing, but Trick couldn't find the table. And then we heard, I guess, the Dudley Brother music start up again.
Get the table!
Because Bubba was like, "What is happening?" And the other guy, the black guy, came out with his white glasses. I didn't know their glasses were like that. That Bubba had black glasses and his brother had white glasses.
Yeah.
That was funny. And he came out with the table, and they did their match. They did their finisher for the match. It was so cool. And it was crazy because it's ECW. They had a girl match. They brought out ladders. They brought out tables, garbage cans, the judo sticks. They were beating the hell out of each other.
As you don't know?
They're beating the heck out of each other. Anyway.
As you don't know?
It was so good. I need to watch Friday Night SmackDown. I need to catch up on that.
No one is going to.
They should.
Sexy boy.
Although WWE has been they've been doing different things. Like they used to let the React channels post their content with like clips of their show, but recently they went ham and just like filed. I forget what the claim is, but they basically filed all these injunctions on those commenters and got their channels shut down for having WWE content. I mean, like technically the content is copyright, but they used to put those dudes on the show reacting to the stuff that was happening in the ring. So it's mad confusing what they're doing right now.
They're taking back their talent and their time and their production.
I think they need to err on the side of caution, in my opinion.
Yeah.
WWE is just now getting enormous views, just now. And that was with the whole, let Cody finish the story, Rock coming back thing. And those numbers are going back down again, and now they're doing this. So I don't know what they're doing.
Because I'm starting to hear voices, but I don't see anything. Oh, yeah.
And my nose doesn't lie.
And my nose
Wait, is that what he
lie.
said? I can smell whatever, but my eyes don't like. Like it was Macho Man is hilarious.
Look to your left, you don't see me. Look to your right, you don't see me. Look up top, I'm right there on top of you.
What did he say?
Yeah, brother.
Did he say jabronis to my left or jabronis to my right? He says something like that, and goes, "I don't need them.
I don't need nobody."
It's so random. And then he turns around and talks to the wall.
Randy Savage.
It just talks to the wall.
Yeah.
The cream rises to the top.
The cream always rises to the top, brother.
It's hilarious. I love it.
Cannons to the left of me. Cannons to the right of me. Cannons, oh yeah, to the front of me.
I love it. I love it.
Now I got a headache.
Now you have a headache?
Yes.
The video of Dusty Rhodes is going viral again of him playing ball. Everybody being like, that fat man can hoop.
Okay, they have something going around with like sassy ball, sassy basketball. I don't know if it's in the Philippines or nothing.
Oh, yes. And they're all like, but they're mad competitive, but they're all gay. Yes,
sassy ball.
I love it. Because there's sassy volleyball. Have you seen that one?
No, I haven't seen sassy volleyball.
There's sassy volleyball too, also
I've
out the
seen
Philippines.
Sassy basketball.
I love it.
It is hilarious.
Love it. But they can play is the other thing. They can play.
It's hilarious. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, I need to show you the latest one I saw. Have you heard of Armored Combat?
No.
They're in like MMA rings with full knight armor from like medieval times.
White people
with the weapons, and they are beating the heck out of each other.
White people are going to find something that black folks refuse to do so they can dominate. They're going to do it.
I'm going to show you it.
Show me something with a dude's got horses on a stick and they're jumping at things, questioning things.
It's called hobby horsing, first of all, and they run through the horse race like they would if it was a real horse.
They're gonna a black guy.
It comes from Finland.
A black guy.
It's not American. It comes from Finland.
A black guy is going to do it because
vegetarians got together, vegans and vegetarians got together, and they're like, we love the elements.
Vegans to the right of me
of all of this horse race stuff, but we don't want to. We don't want the animals to suffer the abuse. Hobby horsing became the thing, so it's people jumping those hurdles, but with a hobby horse. I love it. Pillow fights, professional pillow fighting. Black people dominate that sport. Black people and Mexicans dominate that sport. I still don't understand the rules, but it's been going on. Did you know tickle fight is another one? Tickle.
And we're done.
Tickle.
Thanks for joining us on this episode. This is ridiculous. They're just making stuff up.
The tickle one I feel like is a little more nefarious.
They're going to make tree climbing. Who can get up the tree the fastest? That's going to be a sport.
That's something in Polynesia. That's a Samoan sport, actually.
There's actually like what's it called? Energy drink sport. What's the energy drink?
What? Prime?
Red balls?
Red Bull?
Red Bull. Those the one with the balls on it?
No, I have no idea.
It's an energy drink with blue balls. It gives you wings. They said it gives you wings.
Why does that have blue balls?
But there's some type of energy drink thing where they'll run and they pick up a stick and they climb the stick as high as they can to get to the podium across of water.
Uh-huh.
Then there's another one, and I think I don't know what country this is. It's in Europe. They have this big long ass pole out in the water, and it's a flag, and they try to see if you can get to the flag, and the pole is like slippery as hell. And you run.
Wait, so you swim to the pole?
No, the pole is sticking off like the side.
You said it's in the water.
Yeah, but it's sticking into the water. It's like says attached to the
your explanations.
The wall or something. But it's sticking out over the water. So when you run across it and you slip and fall, you fall into the water. You don't hurt yourself.
You have to run across the flagpole?
You run across the pole, but the pole is slippery. Just see if you can get to touch the flag. If you touch the flag, you win like a certain amount of money.
But so you have to run across it though.
Yeah. And touch it. Try to get to the flag.
So do you have to drop down and touch the flag, or?
Yeah, you just gotta run and make it to the flag. It doesn't matter how you get to the flag. Just get to the flag
before you fall. Interesting.
It's like one of those extreme sports or something like that. It's
have you seen the scuba divers in the Philippines? They're called free divers.
Yeah.
They have no equipment. They just have to hold their breath and try to get to as far to the bottom as they can.
Yeah.
People be passing out and dying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great. I love it. But yeah, that's all I got. I'm gonna make Calvin watch the armored mixed martial arts.
No, you're not gonna make me watch it, Joe. I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna over there, but I'm not gonna watch it. Oh yeah,
Elizabeth,
I'm coming for you, honey. I'm coming with you, Elizabeth. I know, spit all on this goddamn mic. There's spit everywhere. It's saturated.
Thank you for listening to We Like That podcast.
So we like that.
Go ahead and click that subscribe button. You know you want to. And rate us 5 stars. I'm Javon.
I'm Calvin.
Later, people.
And we're out.